While using the ruler, make sure you do not start here at the edge of the ruler. Line the paper up right here with the 0 instead. We'll be measuring over to here at 1/2 of an inch. Make sure you're using the side labeled inches, not centimeters. As I begin measuring out my 1/2 inch border, I line up my paper with the 0 on the ruler, not the edge of the ruler. I measure over a 1/2 inch and put a little mark. I slide my ruler up, once again, lining the paper up with the 0, not the edge of the ruler. I measure over a 1/2 inch, put a mark. I then line up those 2 marks, making sure I stabilize the ruler so it doesn't slide. I then connect those 2 marks. I repeat this on each edge, measuring over a 1/2 inch, putting a mark, and then connecting the 2 marks. Once you have completed this, you will have your 1/2 inch border all the way around the edge of your paper. The next step is to measure out the boxes we will need for our shading exercise. I measure down 3.5 inches from our border. I put a little mark there. I do the same thing on the other side, 3.5 inches down and a mark. I then connect those 2 marks. Next, I measure up from the bottom border, 3.5 inches. And put a little mark. I do the same thing on the reverse side. I measure up from the bottom border 3.5 inches and put a mark. I then connect those 2 marks using my ruler. Now I put a mark at every 1 inch increment inside of that rectangle we just created. I move my ruler down to the bottom border and repeat the process. Using my ruler, I use those 1 inch increments to place lines inside of both my rectangles. Next, I subdivide my lower rectangle into 1/2 inch increments. After all my lines are in place, I then label each area, starting with 0 up through 9. For the lower area, I start with 9, work my way down to 0, and then back from 0 up to 9. Notice how this leaves me with 2 number 0s right in the center. I finish it off by labeling it as we should label all of our projects. Name, bottom right, date, bottom center, and period, bottom left.